Good day, everyone. We are the reporters of Week 17. I am Christine Cipiquero and my group reporters, Miss Glecy-Vil C. Panilon, Lavone Monte de Ramos. And our topic is all about writing an original critic paper addressing problems in critical theory. So what is critical theory? The field of study concerned with formulating and evaluating intellectual approaches to the analysis or interpretation of works of art, texts, and other cultural artifacts. It is also a collection of theories used to describe and analyze society and social norms, especially with the goal of enhancing the freedom of the individual while preserving social justice. Critical theory is a social theory that aims to critique and change society as a whole. Critical theories attempt to find the underlying assumptions in social life that keep people from fully and truly understanding how the world works. So history of critical theory is most asserted with the Frankfurt School, beginning with Marxist Horkheimer critiques of the economy and society. It is inspired greatly by Marx's theoretical formulation of the relationship between economic base and ideological superstructure and focuses on how power and domination operate. Following in Marx's critical footsteps, Hungarian Georgi Lukács and Italian Antonio Gramsci developed theories that explored the cultural and ideological sides of power and domination. The work of the Frankfurt School members, including Max Horkheimer, Theodor Adorno, Erich Fromm, Walter Benjamin, Jürgen Habermas, and Herbert Marcuse, is considered the heart of critical theory. The purpose of critical theory, Horkheimer asserted that a critical theory must do two important things. It must account for society within a historical context, and it should to offer a robust and holistic critique by incorporating insights from all sciences. It is considered a true critical theory if it is explanatory, practical, and normative. The theory must adequately explain the social problems that exist, offer practical solutions for how to respond to them, and abide by the norms of criticism established by these fields. Critical theory has extended to many other disciplines, such as feminism, critical race theory, and critics of colonialism. The first one is critical theories of gender. It is concerned with the ways in which literature and other cultural media reinforce or undermine the economic, political, social, and psychological oppression of people of various genders. Critical feminist theories is a particular focuses on issues of power and seek to explain the origins and consequences of gender relation, particularly those that privilege men. They study the ways that assumption and ideology around gender are produced, reproduced, resisted, and changed in through the everyday experiences of men and women. It contextualizes a wide range of feminist perspectives, including modernist, liberal, postmodern, queer, and gender difference feminism, and in the realm of sexuality. Studies covers modernist liberationism, social constructionism, transgender theorizing, and queer theory. Critical theories of race. Racism is prevalent in everyday life, and critical theory agree that the ideology and assumptions of racism are so ingrained in the political and legal structures of society as to be unrecognizable. Critical race theory, critical theories of race, the critical study of race and ethnicity is centered on examining the experiences of racial oppression and context in an attempt to challenge existing assumptions about the construction of race. The core idea is that race is a social construct and that racism is not merely the product of individual as prejudice but also something embedded in legal system policies. So problems, the basic tenets of critical emerged out of framework for legal analysis in the late 1970s and early 1980s created by legal scholars Derek Bell, Kimberly Crenshaw, and Richard Delgado, among others. A good example of critical race theory is when, in the 1930s, government officials literally drew lines around areas deemed poor financial risk, often explicitly due to the racial composition of inhabitants. Banks subsequently refused to offer mortgage to black people in those areas. So, see, critical race theory informed intellectual currents like the humanities, the social sciences, and teacher education. Next is problem and critical theories. Number one is developing a justification for the normative dimension of critical social theory. Number two is the problem of establishing a connection between the theory and political practice. Critical theories are not without their critics. Perhaps the major criticism of them is that they fail to provide rational standards by which they can justify themselves, by which they can show themselves to be better than other theories of knowledge, science, or practice. Their ongoing problem has been to present a normative base for rationality that is not distorted by particular social ideologies. So for the next topic to be discussed by my group reporters. Thank you.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, classmates. So, I am Glecy-Vil B is in English 3B. So, I am one of the reporter for the week 17 topics that is talk about writing an original critic paper addressing problems in critical theory. So, first, let us now proceed to critic paper. So, first, let us define what is critic paper. So, a critic paper, it is an academic writing genre that summarizes and gives a critical evaluation of a concept or work. So, or to put it the same place, so it is no more than a summary and a critical analysis of a specific issue. So, this type of writing aims to evaluate the impact of the given work or concept in its field. So, let us now proceed to how to write a critic paper. So, starting critic paper is the most challenging part. Why? Because we are supposed to substantiate our opinion with quotes and paraphrases and must avoid retailing the entire text. And here we go. So let us now proceed to the 3 steps in writing an original critic paper. So first we have critical reading, or attentively read the literary work. So while reading, make notes and underline the essentials or the essential words that is being found in the text or in the particular topic. So you are going to try come into the author's world and think why they wrote such a piece. Point out which literary devices are successful. Some research in literary theory may be required. So, you are going to find or formulate the author's thesis and example, the controversies, gaps, inconsistency, and incompleteness. So, you're going also to formulate what we call this formulate one principal themes. Also, you're going to make a summary or synopsis of the analyzed text. So, second steps in writing an original critic paper is you're going to analyze the text. So, first, you're going to think of your response to the text and check how well the concepts are defined and examine the use of evidence. So, after the reading phases, which is the step 1, so you must or we must ask ourselves some questions like, what was your emotional response to the text? Which techniques, images, ideas made you feel so? And you're going to find out the author's background, which experiences made them raise such a thesis or that particular work that is being published by the authors. So, what other significant works have they written that demonstrate the general direction of thought of this person? So, are the concepts used correctly in the text? Are the references reliable, and though they sufficiently substantiate the author's opinion? And that is the some questions that is being asked to yourself or to ourselves in writing an original critic paper, and that is being found out in the step 2, which is you're going to analyze the text. So let us now proceed to the step 3, which is we're going to draft and revise, or you're going to drafting the essay or the critic paper that is being formulated in step 1 and step 2. So finally, it is time to draft your essay or critic paper. So first, you'll need to write a brief overview of the text you're analyzing. So after reading, after analyzing, and after collecting some ideas, and you're going to answer the following questions in step 2 is you're going to draft your essay. So formulate a statement, so one sentence that will contain your opinion of the work under scrutiny. So after that, make a one paragraph summary of the text. So question, why is it important to consider the importance of using critical theory in a critic paper? Considering the importance of using critical theory in a critic paper or in writing a critic paper is very important, because critical theory provides the basis that grounds the critic paper, giving it a solid foundation to your topic or to the particular text that is being provided of the instructors or others. So that would be my part of my report, which is critic paper, or giving such a background what is critic paper and there's tips and steps in writing an original critic paper. So my group mates will also discuss the example of template in writing an original critic paper. So thank you for listening. Keep safe and God bless everyone.
Hey everyone, I am Lavoni Montid Ramos from BSed English 3B, and we are now in example critic paper template. So the logical format in writing a critic paper is nag-consist na siya of at least 4 sections, which are the introduction, summary, main body, and the conclusion. So here's a guide that will walk you through how to structure your critic paper. So in introduction paragraph 1, it is setting the stage for your analysis. So here's are some tips to follow when working on it. Start with an introductory praise about the domain of the work in question. Tell which work you are going to analyze, its author and year of publication. Specify the principal argument of the work under study. And lastly, in the third sentence, clearly state your thesis. So, nag-include na siya the title and the name of the author in your introduction, and make a general description of the topic being discussed, and including the author's assumptions, inferences, or contentions. And then find out the thesis or central argument, which will be the basis of your discussion. And in our summary paragraph 2, this should be brief and to the point. So only the author's or the creator's main ideas should be included. Here you can insert the summary you wrote before, and this is the only place where you can use it. No summary can be written in the main body. So mag-provide ra ka og brief summary of the article, then outline the main points, result, and the discussions. So these sections should highlight dapat imo ra siyang i-highlight ang main points of the article you are critiquing. So don't feel obligated to summarize each little detail of the main paper. Dapat is mag-focus lang ka on giving the reader an overall idea of the content of the article. So in our main body, paragraph 3 to 5 or more, the body of the paper includes details about the article being examined. So it is here where you place all those musings of yours after applying the analytical tools. So first is use one paragraph for every separate analyzed aspect of the text. So like the styles, its organization, fairness, and etc. So each paragraph should confirm your thesis. Example, whether the text is effective or ineffective. Each paragraph shall start with a topic sentence, followed by evidence, and concluded with a statement referring to the thesis. So the body of the critic paper contains ni siya the supporting paragraphs nga ako ang discuss, and this is where you will provide the facts that prove your main idea and kanang mo support sa imong thesis. Therefore, you should follow the tips when writing the body of your critic paper. In conclusion, the last paragraph, the conclusion reasserts your overall or general opinion of the ideas presented in the text, and it ensures there is no doubt in the reader's mind about what you believe and why. So follow these tips when writing your conclusion. Provide a final judgment on the effectiveness of the piece of writing, and then summarize your points and restate the thesis, indicating that everything you said above confirms it. So your critic paper should end with an overview of the article's argument, like your conclusions, your reactions, and with an overall interpretations of the article. That's all. Thank you.